Well, having birds on your property, it kind of makes you feel like you're more at home.
Yeah, different feeders, food, and flowers attract different birds, but today we are focusing on hummingbirds.
Oh, yes, we are. And Marge Knutson owns Wild Birds Unlimited. Good to see you, Marge.
Hey, welcome back.
Listen, you're the resident expert on hummingbirds. I love this time of year because this is when we start learning all this information about hummingbirds and what they mean to the environment and when they're going to come here. So how do we know when the hummingbirds have arrived?
Well, there's a website at hummingbirds.net, and there we go. It shows where they are in their migration.
How do we know that, Marge?
Do
How do we get that data?
People that find them go in and report that they've seen them.
Got it. So we're not microchipping the birds.
That's right.
We're relying on eyewitnesses.
That's right.
Okay.
Right.
And so they look like they're starting to move up to our neck of the woods.
Right.
I'm looking at Nebraska, and they're not that far away.
In Missouri.
Central Missouri. When they get to Kansas City, and they tend to migrate faster in the east than they do in the western part of their range. So when they get to Kansas City, if we don't have a cold front or a cold spell, it's usually about a week or 10 days before they get here.
That's interesting. So the best way to feed them, we're thinking about that now, if they're going to be here and you're giving us this date range, we want to get those feeders out and make sure we're giving them what they need to keep going.
Here's a feeder.
What do we have?
That's a great feeder. It's got the well for the nectar on the bottom. It's got a little well in the center to put water in so ants can't get over to the nectar.
So water there.
Right, and
then the
nectar under
goes
there.
down in here.
Right.
They clamp their pretty little toes on this thing, right?
That's right. And then just through those little flowers, they sip up the nectar.
Okay,
We
and then
have
there's a
another
smaller
style,
one.
kind of similar, but a little bit different. That's pretty.
Yeah.
I like the design on that one. Marge, how many designs do you have at all?
Oh, I can't
Would you
even
wager
tell
a
you.
guess?
Probably about 40 or 50.
Yes,
Yeah.
in hummingbird feeders alone. We're not talking about feeders at
Right.
large. That's just for hummingbirds. So
Right.
you might see a couple of styles here that you like, but please go to the, because I purchased a feeder for my mom there, and I love this idea.
Yeah.
We'll show you a few of these other styles, more artisan in nature.
Now, this is not to keep yourself hydrated.
No, it probably wouldn't hurt you to drink it, but it's basically hummingbird nectar that you don't have to make. You just pour it right in.
What's
it's ready
different?
to
Is
use.
there's sugar in it. It's basically sugar water, right?
It's basically sugar water, and you can make your own. 1 part sugar, 4 parts water, boil it till the crystals are dissolved. You can make a big batch, and it'll keep in the refrigerator about a week or so.
There's one ingredient that's not on that list, Marge, and that is food coloring.
Right, and we don't recommend that. It's not good for the birds. On my Facebook page a few days ago, I posted a link to a story about why it's not good
What
for
is
the
it
birds.
about what is it about the water with sugar in it? Is it reminds them of nectar? Is that why they enjoy that?
From the plants.
From the plants,
Right.
from the flowers?
Right, and the 1-to-4 ratio, according to Cornell Lab of Ornithology, is the closest ratio you
According
can.
to what?
Cornell Laboratory of Ornithology.
Some study, Mary.
I'm sorry.
Some study.
I love a good fact on the Morning Blend. Okay, let's keep going down the line here.
That's just a sugar of really fine sugar that you can mix up and make your own.
So different than what we'd find in the baking aisle.
Right.
A few more items here, and then I want to ask you a question about flowers, because that's
Okay.
another way that we can attract birds. But I
Right.
love some of these other feeders and things that you sell at Wild Birds Unlimited.
Right.
So how are we using these pieces?
Those are ant motes. You fill them with water and then hang the feeder below.
So you would put the water inside the umbrella, and then you would hang it this
hang it.
way, and
Right.
then latch the feeder to the bottom here, and then put this on your shepherd's hook or tree limb, whatever you've got.
Right.
And that keeps the ants away from that sweet
Right.
nectar.
They can't swim across the water to get to it.
Okay, a few options there. And then down here, these are my favorites, Marge, because I think
Yes.
they look like they're handmade because
They're made
they
in
are
Mexico, and they're
handmade.
recycled glass. And that's why we really promote them, because they've recycled
neat?
glass.
A lot of what you sell is environmentally friendly.
We try to be as much as possible.
A lot of the feeders you have are made out of recycled plastics and
Yeah.
milk
Glass or
jugs and
whatever.
glass.
Isn't that beautiful? And then this one, hand painted. That's
Right.
beautiful. But in this case, you're using the color from the feeder to attract the bird instead of relying on the color in what you're mixing up and putting in the feeder. That's why you
Exactly.
see so many pops of red and pink. And then one more look at this piece, which, Marge, I think these are works of art. These are beautiful. And again, these flowers are all made out of glass.
Right.
And so they just slide right out so you can clean them.
And red, pink, purple, and orange are the colors that most attract the hummingbirds.
Okay.
So that's why we have the orange flowers or the red flowers.
really
Which brings me to
pretty.
my next question. What type of flowers do they, if you're, I mean, it's planting season. And
Right.
how long, Well, two-part question here, I don't want to confuse you. But what type of flowers they like, and how long will they stick around to enjoy those flowers?
They like flowers that are tubular in shape and are nectar rich. This is Hummingbird Mint, one of the favorites. I always have good luck with them coming to Hummingbird Mint. But Lantana, it's got the orange color, so that's another one. Honeysuckle is where they typically come in my yard.
Yeah, that grew wild. Yeah, where I grew up, that was awesome.
You've got this bag right here.
Right.
What's the bag for?
Well, we're going to have a promotion on April 22nd to shop for Mother's Day. Fill the bag and you get 20% off.
Anything that fits
in the bag, except not bird food, just
not bird food.
And then sell items, but everything else, 20% off.
20% off.
But one day only, so that's April 22nd, the spring fill a bag sale. And if you are thinking about Mother's Day, and if you're just like me, and there's nothing my mom loves more than sitting at that kitchen table and looking out her window and watching the hummingbirds, save the 20% while you can. So Rockbrook Village, that's where you'll find Marge and her team at 108th and Center. And then online, it's wbuomaha.com.
And Marge, you've been a very great friend of the show, and we're going to see more of you, but this is your last segment with Mary.
It is.
Hold on, and we had one more thing, but we didn't get to that. But I want to give you a squeeze.
Okay, thank you. It's been so nice
I just want to leave time at the end of these segments for our very special guests that come on the show.
Because it is true. We get to know each other, and we, over the years you spend time, and so just like you watching at home and you see us standing here, we develop the same kinds of relationships with our guests. So
well, how long have you been coming on? It's been
leaving is tough.
3 years.
3, 4 years, yeah.
But she's such a good egg, and she's so sweet, and her heart is what you see here on the show. This is what she's passionate about, and it's nice to be able to share that, I know, with your shoppers.
I will see you again.
Okay. Thank you, Marge.
Thanks, Marge.
Thanks so much.
And good luck.
Thank you. Thank you. I might need